Black Conversations is brought to you by Castle Milk Stout. Savor your richness. The opinions expressed within this series are solely of the individuals and do not reflect the opinions and beliefs of the Castle Milk Stout brand. Please be advised, the following program contains views which may be triggering for sensitive viewers.
Ujama kasijatu siba lukhulu sikunya mkhonto nokulasa umfazi umabele mathi wancela isingane ngaphesheya komfula uzalisa umqbaza luko ndaba umbethile ubhaxa njengesele emvula bonkosi thuthukani kaDlamini.
I'm Eugene Khoza. I'm a comedian, writer, and podcaster, and I'm black, but I'm not black, successful black. I'm just black. That's good enough.
My name is Gerald Chemunora Mwandiambira, and I am a financial planner. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I do pretty much anything that keeps me going because in this day and age, you can't do one thing.
My name is Sibu Mabena. I am the founder of Duma Collective, a creative communications agency, and I'm a successful and black woman.
Success for me is getting out of the realm of being defined. I want to be content and peaceful, and the world to be peaceful and content around me. I want to have food in my stomach. I want to lose weight. I want to have a happy wife, happy children, and I want my children to know that no one should ever call them black. They are people.
I'm not sure if black people are really comfortable with the word black. Now we define it by magama like BEE. So obu black, obu lapho, you know, when you write a proposal, you can throw in black.
Black success is, I suppose, an adjective. We are using the word black to describe the people who are successful and happen to be black. Black success, I suppose, doesn't differ from any other success. It's not less than. It's not different to. Success is success at the end of the day. And, where we can say success is in the eye of the beholder, I just happen to be a black successful person.
To me, black success means if everyone who's black is successful, not individuals, not chosen few, not the ones that made it through. Just if everyone is successful in their own terms, whatever they consider success to be, then that's black success. Like Black Friday. It's not black, no, I'm joking. Maybe let's just kick it off by asking Gerald, because I know when I'm opinion welcome. What is black success?
Okay, firstly, what is black?
Yeah.
Am I black? And what gives you the right to call me black? Because black success is something that was defined by the slave massa, who took his West African slaves to America. And then when they're in America, from day one, they wanted to be like the big house. So black success for them is very clear, to be white. Problem is, came back to Africa. We're in South Africa. There's been, we have got the same phenomenon because of apartheid. Because we've now defined black success as they're being like them. When they accept us in their places, when we can marry their children and we can be accepted. That's how we define black success. This coat of blackness has caused more pain to the African continent than anything a white man can do. All he did was, he said, you're black. We accepted it, and we're still carrying it.
Did Jan van Riebeeck really exist? Or he was created with the same image, Uguti, or he found South Africa? Because there's nothing in Europe that really talks about Jan van Riebeeck. Uguti really existed. So that's why bamfundisa la South Africa kuphela. But going back to my brother, education yethu is still inferior. Right? It's not designed to make a black child be proud of who they are and where they come from. It's still not talking about Bantu Stephen Biko, right? It's still not talking about the Kukuletu 7. So it deliberately is slow, and I feel to the point where the kids can actually walk with pride and say, okay, this is what I am. So the version of being something great in a country, you must lean towards being white.
We carry the weight of the black skin because we've allowed them to make it heavy for us.
Most of what we're going through has less to do now with the system, but low self-esteem.
Yes.
It's because once we reach that place that we've always wanted to get to, we stop wanting to be successful and we stop putting more people in the room. Because the thing is, once you are the guy in that street, in that suburb, that's accepted by the dogs and the neighbors, you don't want another black person moving in. When people buy houses in estates, you know you must go through the body corporate first. Then they must go, yeah, you can come in here. But you must look the part as well. You can't be the person that they look at and think, we're gonna have to worry about you, eh? Are you gonna keep the noise down? Are you gonna have people here that we don't trust that look like you as well? Are you gonna have them here? So you have to play the part. So we learn to play the part. So the pressure is there from the beginning. In that boardroom, when you've made it into that seat, you wanna be the guy or the woman that's different from other people that look like you that are not there. For a long time, comedians were celebrated for coming up with crazy concepts that advertising agencies stole from us. But then Masfika Lapayane Rumin, we're like, no, these are our lives. There's no way that a white executive can know what it's like in the township to create a Lucky Star advert.
Unless
you have a colloquial guy sitting there going, I know how they talk, so I'll tell you now. So I'm saying that, Tina, when we get chances to pitch ideas, we don't come with each other.
Still on that, why are we always dancing in every ad? Sila.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not anymore.
Welcome.
Things are changing, though. I want to try to move it away from woe is me, to are we recognizing the strides we're making as black people right now?
Oh, yeah.
Are we recognizing the fact that black people are starting to put on other black people because we now have the experience? Let's also not discount the fact that we come from not knowing the system that we are all participating in. We are opting in to participate in the system that has been created by people who are not us, and we are playing according to their rules. Now that we know the rules of engagement, we are starting to bring others along.
Are we?
If you look, I 100% believe so. And let me speak for myself, because I really am.
So is your banker black?
My banker is black, yes.
Is your construction company that renovates your offices black?
100% black.
All your employees are black?
No.
Are all your suppliers black?
No.
Yeah, but so where the money
But
really matters.
does it have to be all black for it to be good?
Look around.
No. I'm gonna come in. Okay. I ran a business where they called me the first black whatever, big white boardroom. I was there, sitting on the seat of power. They had a whole ceremony, TV cameras. Gerald has arrived, and I went and I recruited 16 young black people. And they would not work for me. They only started working when I hired a white person to pretend like they were my boss. Yet they reported to me. The black mindset cannot define success because we don't know. It's low self-esteem. And at the end of the day, we need people who are going to, you spoke about Steve Biko. We need that consciousness coming back to start questioning things that are obviously wrong.
Black Conversations is brought to you by Castle Milk Stout. Savor your richness. Black Conversations is brought to you by Castle Milk Stout. Savor your richness.
I'm in a situation where I have 44 employees right now, a lot of them black.
Can I get a job?
And we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But
Well, come there, I won't work.
are they listening? No, they
manager.
work. And they work extremely hard. And they're not working hard because it's a black-owned business. Do they enjoy that it is a black-owned business? Yes, because there are certain values as a black person that I am instilling in this
Which
business.
is what? Put up Fridays.
Ubuntu. Simple as that. That we care.
When I was running my company,
Yes.
imagine this, getting a call. I can't come to work because I don't have money for transport. You came, you signed an employment contract, we agreed on how much you earn. It's not my fault you ran out of money.
But Gerald, you know how it is.
No, but listen. You feel,
I'm playing devil's advocate.
feel you can have that conversation with your boss because I'm black. Try that with Mr. Smith and say I can't come because I don't have
Yeah, but that's why we don't want Mr. Smith.
Okay,
I want to be able to tell you my problems.
I'm not your brother.
But you are my brother.
No, I'm not your brother when you're in the workspace. We are working. We have a common goal. But that was not the case. The problem is we need to cancel the word black out of black success and start
okay,
asking, what is success?
Okay.
Success. Because if you ask Umulungu, they don't talk about white success. They talk about success.
Success.
They don't talk about Jewish success. They talk about success. So let's cancel the black. The black success can exist for our Jay-Z, now Beyonce, now Dr. Dre, because they came on a slave ship.
But now, Usibu, now, when I see you didn't live through apartheid, you're the youngest one here. And then now when you're deep with the white people in that business of yours, ne? You deal with white people, you're in a white industry.
Yes.
Your industry is not surrounded by black people. You're an anomaly. You're young, you're female, and you run your own business.
Successfully.
Successfully at that, for years. So how do you find that conversations about black success are being had when you are just Sibu in the room, hey, and there's no one else in there? It's just Sibu, hey?
No,
you can just talk now.
My voice matters because of what I say. What I say. Not in what language I'm saying it, not because I'm black or young or female. It matters because it is correct or not. But my contribution to the conversation matters. My contribution to this economy matters. My contribution to the environment, the ecosystem of marketing and advertising matters. Not because white people say, oh, she's one of us, but because...
Oh, you speak proper.
Or you speak well. No,
English.
but because what I have set out to do, I am doing. My achievement comes from, or my measure of success is the fact that I said I want to create opportunities for young people to do cool things and get paid for it. Am I doing that? Yes. Therefore, I am successful.
How do you feel about people your age saying you're funitoho? I have a problem with this skoropo netoho. I have a problem with those.
It comes back to, again, experience, exposure. Bona bayizwe phi leyo nto? Bayithatha phi leyo nto?
Yeah.
Sibu is idealistic and almost in dreamland in terms of her view of professionalism from young people.
So ekhaya, if umamako akafundisanga because she didn't have the time because she was waking up at 5 o'clock ekseni, ayogibela ama-taxi to go to work, makabuya ngo-6 ntambama, uyageza uyalala ngoba ukhathele kusasa futhi ngo-5, repeat.
Retail.
Who is there to teach you to be like them?
Yeah.
You're seeing it on television. So a lot of black people learned how to speak English from
Television.
TV. So what
Mr.
we see,
Chinwag, what's
Mr.
this? Hey.
Chinwag, oh.
Wherever you are, Mr. Chinwag.
Or Tupac,
Danko.
right? Now you're learning from rap lyrics or a Mariah Carey song. You're learning from culture and the environment. So if the environment is not conducive to a black child learning how to be confident, learning how to be self-aware, learning how to be the best version of themselves, not the best version according to other people around them. I suppose people are conditioned to package us in that manner because they don't have any other vocabulary, or it hasn't been socialized or made socially acceptable to call us something else. And until we start to push the narrative or start to own the narrative that we're not successful black women, we are successful and black and women.
I mean, from growing up, I remember 2 lessons that I learned. One was confidence. My mom taught us that. She was like, if I have a choice to teach you respect or confidence, I'll choose confidence over respect. Because respect, you'll respect even the wrong person. But if you're confident, you'll stick up for yourself and you'll know when things are not to do. Secondly was you, funny enough, Mzolisto. Your influence in popular culture and how we started doing stand-up is, you were the first one that spoke like us on television, and you made us want to be on television, doing what we are doing. My first link on television, I emulated you. And it was years later since you'd done your show. So here we are now, we're looking at you as the success in television, in music, in business, in apparel, in owning your songs. So what does that success look like from the person who was inside of it? Because now we're looking at it from the outside.
Music took a while because, I mean, you hustle until you're like, this thing is not gonna happen much. This whole thing is Zola 7, if you remember, Ekas. There's always a grandmother selling eggs. Edladleni kune-spinach. Babusithebe uthenga ama-veg wonke. Endlini yesitri amankanyaniso and stuff. So there's always a parcel moving around, a parcel there, a parcel there, a parcel there. And then before you know it, it's Zola 7 because that's what we know. Now that needs me to call and ask for a lot of favors from other people. And so There will be people who will be highly educated, and there will be people who will just be able to do it naturally. So it depends on to tata period. Angisho ukuthi abantu bangayisikele. Abantu bahamba esikolweni, but somebody told me that you can be educated and still not use your degree, and use the passion yakho and what you feel inside. So that's an innovative business. So I think South Africa has moved a lot into that.
Imagine ownership of these shows, because what I found recently, Guti, when you have a great idea, someone is always there, ready to buy the idea from you, taking ownership away. And now you're speaking about Jay's Naban, and I'm like, it's easy for us to say from here, but we don't know who pulls the strings. Kanye proved it. When he said what he said, they were like, we can shut you down tomorrow, as rich as you are. So here you are, you have this great concept, the ownership part, so that we can sustain Black success. See, negotiator kanjani must figure lapayana at the TV station, and you have a great idea, and there's 2 million rand on the table to produce this show, and do you take 500,000 rand from your pocket, or do you take the 2 million on the table and then go pay your bond?
Oh, can I add
to
differentiate between ownership and control?
Yes.
Because you can own 100% of nothing and have nothing. But control is where I suppose the power lies. So did you have control over what you were doing and participating?
I've always had control over what I'm doing, and I've always wanted to know about the money part with the ERP, and we need to be careful in that department because 500,000 can disappear very quickly, and you're going to have to explain in front of a judge somewhere or something. But there's also the thing, when you're young and you're getting into the business, like the music business, people can rip you off, and you can sign things that you did not know even exist, and then later on you go to court and you fight for these things, and hopefully you get them back. So I always tell these young kids when they talk to me, don't sign yet. Don't sign yet until I read your contract, right? And a pro bono, I can get somebody else to read your contract, and then I'll tell you whether you're safe or not, because a lot of young kids just want to be on TV. They just want to be that makeup, the jewelry and stuff and everything, and it's all fake. It's bought downtown. They want to be there, and then there's noise, a car, see now you've made it, and then without mentioning names, that within a space of a year, within a space of 2 years, and somebody's in the media now saying, I got ripped off, I've lost everything, I'm broke. It's happened so many times.
Black Conversations is brought to you by Castle Milk Stout. Savor your richness. Black Conversations is brought to you by Castle Milk Stout. Savor your richness.
And I think it's important what Siba was talking about, ownership versus control. So in my experience, obviously I grew up in a system which color was not really the issue. It was the system. You work hard, you get a job, you become a manager, you become a senior manager, and one day you can be the CEO. So I remember one of my milestone goals when I was young was I want to be a CEO by the time I'm 50. They never talked entrepreneurship. It was all about you're working for someone. One day if you work hard, you can be the boss. So obviously when I reached that point where I was offered an entrepreneurship opportunity, I did what Zola said. I signed fast, didn't read that contract because it said I owned it, but I didn't control it. I didn't control it because when you enter into an arrangement where you're using someone else's name, though it's your business, it's not yours. You don't control it. So those are the issues you then encounter as an entrepreneur.
But intellectual property is spanner so. I may die, okay? Abantwana bami, they have to know where Samro is and all the other companies that are associated with Uzola. And then one day when they are old enough, they'll knock there and then go and find out all the things that I've lined up for them. I'm not saying they're gonna be musicians, touch wood. They should be safe, relatively safe for a very long time. Ilonto leyo ke ekufanele si attende kakhulu intellectual property.
Like what I know about people is they reach certain points in their lives where they don't feel like money defines them, or they don't feel like buying things to show that they've got the money will help people get more respect for them. But I also understand that he comes from a different era. He comes from an era where social media was not so big. It was the tabloids on a Sunday that will traumatize you and your family for the rest of the month.
But it's not just an intellectual property thing. It's education around izinto zethu in general.
Yes.
Ukuthi, when you've got this body of work that exists, do the people who are going to benefit from this body of work know how to exploit it and exploit it in a positive manner? Do they know what to do with this body of work? And are we as Abantu Abamnyama invested enough in educating ourselves, not at school, but educating ourselves on how to work in the system? Do we educate ourselves?
You were talking about, just in passing, you're talking about hiring relatives. One of you guys, I think.
What does that mean?
The conversation.
But I've got relatives that work in our business, and proudly so.
Yeah.
And it's because we come from a family that has the same value system.
Okay.
I'm a hard worker. My parents were hard workers. My parents' siblings, their cousins, the entire family works hard. Do some people make it further than others? 100%. And that's what helps me bring my people into my business, because I know they will work as hard as me, if not harder. And we have a social contract between each other that says, as my family member, it is in your best interest to make sure that this thing that we are building together succeeds. Not to say that the people who I'm not related to don't work as hard and aren't as committed, but I trust enough that the person who is of my people understands what we are doing here, because it is born of what our people said we should do.
What about the cold drink? Because here I am running a show, I'm trying to bring money to my people, and somebody's always talking about the cold drink in my ear. And I'm just tired, I'm exhausted. Okay, fine, I want $1 million for this. And you've got the signing power to give me the $1 million from your company, but you're telling me about the cold drink.
Yes.
So it's also about the black success of saying the blacks who are in positions where they can influence the black innovation or black business don't take that decision and that chance. They become comfortable.
Yes.
When I got the opportunity to run an organization, I was so excited. I was like, I'm going to get a lot of young black people. We're going to succeed. We're going to change the industry. We're going to innovate. We're going to do things that have never been done before. The system said, no, it's not going to happen. And also the black child said, no, I am taught to collect salary. Okay?
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the plan I'm sticking to.
So I'm sticking to that plan. I'm not like your staff who are, let's create the best organization.
Yes.
So the system failed me.
But here's the thing, Gerald. Once you've shown me the house and the car and I don't have the talent and I've got the brains to go work, I'm going to get a job that can give me these things quicker.
Okay.
But are you showing us how you amassed all of that
That's
success?
what I'm trying.
Are you showing us the behind the scenes? Are you showing us the late nights?
you.
Are you showing us the early
sacrifice.
mornings, the sacrifice? I'm not at home on Christmas, I'm at a gig. Are you showing us that? Because I thank social media for this, that we're able to communicate faster the things that I suppose, that matter more than we were before. Because if a person doesn't see it and they can't register it, they won't know it.
Yeah,
so back in the day, where there wasn't an Instagram post or a story at midnight of Eugene writing and communicating that because he is intentional about showing people what it takes, you only saw the end result. You only saw the kushesh. You only saw the townhouse in
But
Forest.
it was not my fault.
It's not whose fault?
It's not my fault as the person viewing the information and aspiring to that.
Yes.
Because also at the speed that the information is disseminated, it can also be false as well. We're talking, and I'm tired basically of being guilt-tripped into supporting certain black businesses.
Ooh.
And without an explanation of what this business is or who controls it and who owns it. We're talking about the shoes right now, the shoe brands.
Yes.
The two ones that stick out for me is always going to be Batu and Drip.
Yeah.
And I'm like, as much as I can pick up GQ magazine or Afropolitan and read and see in the cover the owner of the business, and I'm like, my man, if you are just saying you come from where you come from, please explain to me how to get the machine to press the shoes, how to print them, how to distribute them, how many distribution. Because I know where I know there was a waffle machine underneath the staircase in Oregon at a running track. I know the story, how you press that thing. I know how Puma, Adidas. Please, before we go far, I know where Alex is, so I can go look and verify this information. Tell me, Uguti, before I can take my money and support this business in Kazele.
Stop it.
I work hard for this
that
money.
behavior and stop questioning black success.
Buy it if you like it, don't buy it if you don't like it.
le ngathi izobheda.
But when I sit down with a black client, you are the client I don't want to see.
Well, if I come from a black neighborhood, I'd like everybody to know Guti, I'm black and I come from a black neighborhood. And yeah, it is success. It is all of those things combined. But ngifuna abantu bazi ukuthi ngiphume Soweto, ngafunde Greater Maphumulo, which part that I went to school to, Vumelane Newcastle. So I need to be defined in my own space.